The gun felt warm against Zinhle's palm as she pressed it to his temple. 3 days of interrogation, and Malik Carter still wore that infuriating smile, the kind that made her want to either shoot him or kiss him, and she wasn't sure which urge scared her more. "Last chance," she whispered, her Johannesburg accent thick with exhaustion. "Tell me where the shipment is, or I paint these walls with your thoughts." Malik's brown eyes found hers in the flickering fluorescent light. Blood dried at the corner of his mouth. His wrists were zip-tied so tight that plastic cut into skin. He should have been begging. Instead, he leaned into the barrel. "You won't pull that trigger, Ma." "Why not?" "Because you gave me water last night. Because your hands shook when you cleaned my wounds. Because you asked about the woman who taught me Zulu. And when I said her name, your eyes got soft for exactly 3 seconds before you remembered to hate me." Zinhle's finger tightened on the trigger. Her heart hammered against her ribs like it was trying to escape her chest. He was right. God help her, he was right, and that made him the most dangerous man she'd ever met. "You don't know anything about me," she said. "I know you're tired," Malik replied softly. "I know you've got your boss breathing down your neck, demanding results. I know you've killed before, but you don't sleep well after. I know you joined this life because someone you loved died in it, and you thought getting close to the people responsible would feel like justice, but it just feels like drowning." The words hit like bullets. Zinhle's hand dropped, the gun wavered. That's when the window exploded. Glass rained down as masked figures crashed through, automatic weapons lighting up the room. Zinhle dove behind an overturned table, returning fire, but a bullet caught her shoulder and spun her around. She hit the concrete hard, vision blurring, warm blood spreading across her shirt. Through the smoke and chaos, she saw Malik, somehow free of his restraints, fighting through her own people to reach her. He should have been running toward freedom. Instead, he was running toward her. "Stay with me," he commanded, lifting her like she weighed nothing. "You don't get to die yet." "Why?" she gasped, trying to aim her gun at him even as he carried her. "Why save me?" "Because I'm stupid," he said. "Because you got sad eyes. Because 3 days ago you were my enemy, and now I'm about to betray my own rescue to keep you breathing." As he carried her into the smoke, past her fallen comrades and his own crew screaming at him to leave her, Zinhle realized something terrifying. She believed him, and that changed everything. 72 hours earlier, Zinhle Mbeki had perfected the art of fear, not feeling it. That was easy once you'd seen enough death. No, she'd mastered the art of creating it. The way she walked into a room, boots clicking like a countdown. The way she circled captives without speaking, letting silence do the work. The way she'd light a cigarette and watch their eyes follow the ember, wondering if she'd use it on their skin. She was 28 and had 11 confirmed kills. In Johannesburg's underground, that made her valuable. In Bongani Khumalo's syndicate, that made her next in line to lead when the old man retired. The American in the chair was her test. Malik Carter, 31, Los Angeles native, connected to a crew that had been moving product through South Africa without proper permission. Bongani's men had snatched him 3 days ago from a hotel in Sandton, and now he belonged to Zinhle. "You know why you're here," she said, not bothering with introductions. "Johannesburg hospitality?" Malik's voice was rough from dehydration, but steady, annoyingly steady. "Nah, I'm good on that." She studied him. Tattoos covered his brown skin, a map of violence and survival. His beard was growing wild, fade grown out, but his eyes were sharp. Too sharp for a man who'd been beaten twice daily for 72 hours. "You're smarter than you look," Zinhle said. "You're meaner than you look," Malik replied, "which is saying something, because you look pretty damn mean, Ma." She didn't react to the endearment, didn't let him see that the casual Ma reminded her of her brother, who used to call her that before Bongani's bullet found him in a Soweto alley. "Your friends in Los Angeles sent you here to expand operations," Zinhle said, circling him slowly. "They didn't clear it with us. That's disrespectful. Business is business. Death is death. Usually that's how disrespect ends here." "Then why am I still breathing?" Good question. Zinhle had been asking herself that since day one. Bongani wanted names, locations, shipment schedules, standard extraction. But something about Malik made her hesitate. The way he took pain without begging. The way he looked at her like he saw her. Not just the gun she carried. It was dangerous. She needed to finish this. Last chance, she said, pulling her knife. Give me what I need or I start removing pieces you'll miss. Malik met her eyes. Do what you gotta do. I've made peace with how this ends. Have you? She pressed the blade to his throat, just enough to draw a thin line of blood. Because from where I'm standing, you look like a man who thinks someone's coming to save him. Nobody's coming. The certainty in his voice made her pause. She'd heard false bravado before. It always cracked eventually. But this? This sounded like acceptance, like he'd already written his ending and was just waiting for her to finish the last chapter. It bothered her more than it should. Fine, she said, stepping back. We'll try something different tomorrow. As she walked toward the door, Malik spoke in slow, broken Zulu. Ubule bako buyangi lupa. Zinhle froze. Your beauty troubles me. She turned slowly. Where did you learn that? Woman I loved, Durban girl, lived in Atlanta. She taught me before she went back and I never saw her again. His smile was sad. Guess I got a type. Dangerous South African women who won't give me the time of day. Zinhle wanted to ask more. Wanted to know the woman's name, what happened, why his voice went soft when he mentioned her. Instead, she slapped him hard enough to split his lip further. Don't speak to me in Zulu, she said coldly. Don't speak to me at all unless it's information I can use. She left before he could see the crack in her armor. 2:47 a.m. Zinhle told herself she was checking on the asset. Standard procedure. The fact that she brought bottled water and medical supplies was just good practice. Keep captives healthy enough to interrogate. The fact that she'd come alone against every protocol Bongani had taught her was harder to justify. Malik looked up when she entered. Blood had dried on his face. His shoulders sagged with exhaustion. But those eyes, still sharp, still calculating. Couldn't sleep? He asked. Shut up. She set down the supplies. I'm going to clean these wounds. If you try anything, I'll shoot you in the knee. Romantic. Despite herself, Zinhle almost smiled. Almost. She wet a cloth and began wiping blood from his face, her touches efficient but gentler than necessary. This close, she could smell him, sweat and copper, and something underneath that might have been cologne days ago. Why'd you really learn Zulu? She asked quietly. Malik was silent for a moment. When he spoke, the joke was gone from his voice. Her name was Thandiwe. Met her at a club in Atlanta, thought she was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen. Turns out she thought I was funny, which was even better. She taught me Zulu while I taught her how to make soul food. We had 8 months before her visa expired. Why didn't you follow her? I was in the middle of a war back then. Couldn't leave. Told myself I'd come after when things settled. He laughed bitterly. Things never settle in our world, do they? By the time I tried to find her, she'd gotten married. Doctor from Durban. Good man from what I heard. The kind who doesn't deal in blood. Zinhle understood that story. Had lived a version of it. I had someone too, my brother Saifo. He wanted out of this life. Wanted to go to university, study engineering. He was smart, not like me. I thought Bongani would let him go. He was just a kid, 19 years old. What happened? He got shot in a Soweto alley. They said it was a deal gone wrong, crossfire, bad luck. But I knew. You don't get out of Bongani's world. You get buried in it. She finished cleaning his face. Their eyes met, two people shaped by loss, sitting in a room that smelled like violence, finding unexpected understanding. I'm still going to get my information, Zinhle said. I know. And you're probably going to die here. Probably. So why do I feel bad about it? Malik's smile was sad. Because you're not as hard as you pretend. Neither am I. We just got good at the performance. Zinhle left the water bottle within reach. As she walked to the door, she heard him call softly, Nyabonga. Thank you. She didn't respond, but she didn't deny it either. Dawn, 48 hours later. The safe house exploded into chaos at 6:17 a.m. Zinhle was in the control room, reviewing surveillance footage when the first grenades hit. The building shook. Alarms screamed. Through security monitors, she watched masked figures storm the compound with military precision. Malik's crew hitting hard and fast despite impossible odds. She grabbed her rifle and ran toward the holding cells, but Bangani's voice crackled through her radio. "Forget the American! Get to the safe room!" Forget him? After 2 weeks of interrogation, countless hours wearing him down, she was this close to breaking him. She wasn't about to let some Los Angeles cowboys steal her victory. Zinhle fought through the corridor, dropping 2 attackers, but a bullet caught her shoulder and spun her around. She hit the floor hard, white-hot pain exploding through her arm. Blood spread warm across her shirt, vision blurred. Through the smoke, she saw him. Malik, zip ties cut, bloody but free, fighting through her own people to reach her. He should have been running toward the exit. His crew was screaming at him from the corridor. "Leave her! We gotta move!" Instead, he killed the man about to execute her, then lifted her like she weighed nothing. "Stay with me, Ma," he commanded. Zinhle tried to aim her gun at him, but her arm wouldn't cooperate. "Why?" she gasped. "You're free. Run." "Not without you." "That's stupid." "Yeah." He carried her through the smoke and chaos, past his own men who stared at him like he'd lost his mind. Maybe he had. "But you gave me water. You got sad eyes. And I'm tired of watching people die when I could save them." He commandeered a car, shot the driver, hauled Zinhle into the passenger seat, and drove them both away from the war zone. Behind them, the safe house burned. Ahead, Johannesburg's morning traffic provided cover. Zinhle passed out from blood loss somewhere near Soweto, her last thought a confusing mix of gratitude and fury. When she woke hours later in an abandoned township clinic, Malik was stitching her shoulder with steady hands. "You betrayed your own rescue," she said, voice weak. "Yeah. They're going to think you're compromised. Yeah. I should kill you right now. Yeah." He finished the stitch, tied it off. "But you won't." "Why not?" Malik met her eyes. "Same reason I didn't leave you." "Oh, we're past that now." The line was crossed, the debt established. Neither could go back to who they were 72 hours ago, and that terrified them both. The abandoned clinic in Soweto had been Zinhle's secret for 3 years, a place off the books, unknown to Bangani, kept for emergencies. Medical supplies from a time when the building actually saved lives. Now, it saved hers. For 3 days, they were trapped together in that liminal space. Her syndicate thought she was dead or captured. His crew thought he'd been compromised by a beautiful interrogator. Both assumptions were dangerous. Both were partially true. The first day was silent warfare. Zinhle recovering from her wound, glaring at Malik whenever he came near. Malik cooking instant noodles on a camping stove like they were on vacation, instead of hiding from 2 different organizations that wanted them dead. "You destroyed my entire position," she said on day 2. "Bangani will assume I helped you escape." "You were going to torture me." Malik handed her a bowl of noodles. "I'm supposed to feel bad?" "I was interrogating you. It's business." That slap felt personal, though. It was professional. "Professional," he laughed. "Right. That's why your hands shook when you cleaned my face. That's why you came back at 2 a.m. with water, even though it broke protocol. Real professional, Zinhle." Hearing her name in his American accent did something strange to her chest. She ignored it. "Don't pretend you know me. I know you're smart. I know you're loyal to a man who probably killed your brother. I know you've spent years building walls so high you forgot there was a world outside them." He sat across from her. "I know because I did the same thing." That cracked something. By day 3, the warfare shifted to conversation. Real conversation, not the interrogation games they'd played before. Malik told her about growing up in Crenshaw, about his younger brother Marcus who got caught in someone else's war at 17, about the revenge plot that consumed him, that brought him to Johannesburg with a plan to infiltrate and destroy from the inside. "So you let them capture you," Zinhle realized. "Yeah. And I ruined the plan by actually interrogating you." "Pretty much," he grinned. "Though I gotta say, you're way more interesting than my original plan." "This isn't a joke, Malik. You're talking about systematic destruction of one of the most powerful syndicates in Southern Africa. I'm talking about justice for my brother. That's not justice. That's suicide with better marketing." The argument sparked like kindling, both of them hurt and righteous, and tired of pretending they weren't. But underneath the anger was something else. Recognition. 2 people shaped by grief, choosing different flavors of self-destruction. "We're both chasing ghosts," Malik said eventually. "Yours is going to get you killed." Probably. You gonna help or watch? Zinhle didn't answer immediately, but she didn't turn him in either. Instead, she pulled out her laptop and opened files she'd been compiling for years. Bangani's operations, weak points, corruption maps, evidence she'd collected while pretending to be loyal. "If we're doing this," she said, "we do it smart." For the next week, they planned. Her knowledge of internal systems plus his strategic ruthlessness created something dangerous. They worked side by side, Zinhle's shoulder, healing slowly. Both of them aware of the clock ticking toward inevitable confrontation. The chemistry built through proximity. Small moments. The way he steadied her when she stood too fast, dizzy from pain medication. The way she fell asleep on his shoulder during late-night planning, exhausted, and he didn't wake her. The way their hands brushed, reaching for the same map, and neither pulled away immediately. Neither acknowledged it. Both felt it. Night 8. The clinic rooftop. Johannesburg sprawled below them, city lights mimicking stars. Zinhle smoked a cigarette, a habit she hid from Bangani's people, one of the few secrets she kept that didn't involve violence. Malik joined her, silent at first. She offered him the cigarette. Their fingers brushed in the exchange. "This is stupid," she said, not about the cigarette. "Yeah, I should kill you, clean, simple. Go back to Bangani and say you died in the ambush." "You should." "Why don't I?" Malik turned to face her, close enough that she could count the gold flecks in his brown eyes. "Because you're tired of being what they made you. Because somewhere under all that armor, you remember who you wanted to be before your brother died. Because I'm the first person in years who sees you as something other than a weapon. And what do you see? Someone scared. Someone brave. Someone who gives a damn even when it would be easier not to." Zinhle kissed him first. Angry and desperate and testing. He responded with equal intensity, hands tangling in her locks, pulling her closer like she might disappear. When they broke apart, both breathed hard. "This changes nothing," she said. "Everything," Malik corrected. "But we can pretend if it makes you feel better." They didn't pretend for long. They returned to the clinic. The tension that had been building for 8 days snapped like a wire pulled too tight. It wasn't gentle, it was collision. All the violence and vulnerability they'd been holding back channeled into each other. Her nails raked his back, leaving marks that would scar. His mouth found her neck, her collarbone, mapping her with an urgency that felt like drowning and breathing at once. They broke a bed frame, laughed about it afterward, tangled in sheets and sweat, reality creeping back. "I'm still going to destroy them," Malik said quietly. "I know." Zinhle traced the tattoo on his chest, a name, Marcus, over his heart. "And I can't let you do it alone. You're signing your death warrant. I signed that years ago. At least this way, I choose how it ends." But even as she said it, doubt crept in. Choosing destruction felt like freedom until you realized you were just choosing a different cage. Still, when Malik pulled her close and she fit against him like missing pieces, she let herself believe they might survive this. They fell asleep intertwined, postponing war for a few hours of peace. When morning came, reality arrived with it. 2 weeks after the ambush, Zinhle walked into Bangani Khumalo's headquarters with her head high and a lie on her lips. She'd rehearsed it for hours, tracked Malik after the ambush, eliminated him in a warehouse in Yeovil. No witnesses, body disposed. Clean. Professional. Bangani sat behind his massive desk, gray at his temples, eyes that had seen 30 years of violence and learned to recognize deception. "You took your time," he said. He was resourceful. Zinhle's shoulder still ached, the wound barely healed, a gift from Malik's rescue that she'd had to explain as combat injury. "But he's gone now." "Is he?" Not a question. A statement laced with doubt. "I brought his tags." She dropped Malik's fake dog tags on the desk, a prop they'd created together, aged with dirt and blood. "And I have a proposition." That got his attention. "What kind of proposition?" "Before I killed him, I made him talk. His Los Angeles crew has connections we could use. With the right approach, we could expand operations through California." She leaned forward. "I brought someone who can facilitate, an American with the right credentials." On cue, Malik entered, clean-shaven now, wearing a suit that made him look like money instead of muscle. He'd transformed himself into Marcus Cole, a dealer with West Coast connections and a cold smile. Bongani's men had vetted the identity already, deep enough to look real, shallow enough not to trigger alarms. The lie worked, barely. But Bongani wasn't stupid. Over the next week, he tested Zinhle's loyalty like a jeweler testing gold. Small asks at first, rough up a debtor, intimidate a witness. She completed each task mechanically, aware of Malik watching from his Marcus persona, playing the game. Then came the real test. Bongani called her into his office with Malik present. A young man knelt between them, zip-tied, crying. 20 years old, baby face wet with tears. "This is Jabulani," Bongani said calmly. "He skimmed our 50,000 from our last shipment, thought we wouldn't notice. He handed Zinhle a gun. Show our new American friend how we handle thieves." Zinhle took the weapon, looked at the kid, barely older than her brother had been. She saw Sifo in his terrified eyes, in the way his hands shook, in the desperate hope that someone would show mercy. Malik watched, expression carefully neutral. If she hesitated, Bongani would know. If she killed the kid, she proved she was still the woman who chose this life over everything else. Time stretched. The gun felt impossibly heavy. "Please," Jabulani whispered. "I have a daughter." Zinhle pulled the trigger. The sound cracked through the office. The kid slumped, blood pooled. She handed the gun back to Bongani without a word, then walked out with steady steps that cost everything to maintain. In the bathroom, she vomited, washed her hands 3 times, stared at herself in the mirror, and didn't recognize the woman staring back. That night, Zinhle's apartment. She didn't remember driving home, just found herself in Anadia, her shower, fully clothed, water running cold, scrubbing hands that wouldn't come clean. Shaking so hard, her teeth chattered. Malik found her there. He'd followed after the meeting, knowing she'd shatter. "I didn't want to," she whispered, "but I had to. I had to." He pulled her out, wrapped her in towels, held her while she broke. "I know. I know." For the first time since her brother's death, Zinhle let someone see her completely. No armor, no performance, just raw humanity and guilt. "He had a daughter," she said. "Did you hear that? He had a baby girl who's never going to see her father again because Bongani put you in an impossible position. I still chose to pull the trigger. To save both our lives. That doesn't erase the guilt, but it matters." She looked at him with red eyes. "How do you live with it? The killing?" Malik was quiet for a long moment. "I don't. I carry it. Every face, every name, every person who died because of my choices. I carry them, and I try to make the next choice better. That's all we can do. It's not enough. No, but it's what we have." She told him things she'd never said aloud. Her suspicions about Bongani ordering Sifo's death. The 11 people she'd killed, and how she remembered every detail. How she didn't know who she was without the violence anymore. "I'm not good," she said. "I'm not the person you think." "I never thought you were good," Malik replied. "I thought you were surviving. There's a difference." She kissed him then, soft, searching for something human in the wreckage they'd both become. But survival wasn't simple. The next morning, reality crashed back. Malik's phone rang while they were planning at the abandoned clinic, his crew in Los Angeles. The conversation was tense, clipped. When he hung up, his expression was stone. "They're done waiting," he said. "They want me out in 72 hours, or they burn everything. Your syndicate, me, all of it. Can you convince them?" "I'm trying. But they think you turned me. They don't trust this." Before Zinhle could respond, her phone rang. Bongani. "Change of plans," he said without preamble. "The Los Angeles crew hit we were planning. Move it to tomorrow night. You'll lead personally." Ice flooded her veins. "Tomorrow? The intelligence isn't tomorrow. Show me our new American friend is worth the trouble. And Zinhle?" His voice went cold. "This is personal now. I want proof you're still mine." She hung up, looked at Malik. "He knows. You sure?" "He moved up your crew's assassination to tomorrow. No warning, no logistics. He's testing me." Her mind raced. "If I don't lead this personally, he'll have me killed. If I do, you kill people I grew up with." Malik's jaw tightened. "People who've been looking for me, thinking I might be dead. We're out of time." Then we move now, tonight. We take out Bongani before. And if we fail, Zinhle's voice rose. Then what? We're both dead, and for what? For a chance at something real. This isn't real. This is two desperate people pretending violence can lead to peace. She grabbed her jacket. I'm going to do my job. Try not to get killed while I'm gone. You're going to murder my people to prove loyalty to a man who killed your brother? I'm going to survive, because that's what I do. Is it? Or are you just scared to choose something else? The words hit like a slap. Zinhle stared at him, breathing hard, then walked out without answering. The complication was complete. Love versus survival, loyalty versus revenge. And no good options remained. Tomorrow night, she would either betray Bongani or kill Malik's family. Either choice would destroy her. She just didn't know which would hurt more. The Los Angeles crew had holed up in an industrial warehouse in Rudaport, thinking they were hidden. They weren't. Bongani had eyes everywhere, and Zinhle had spent 10 years learning how to hunt. She arrived with 6 of Bongani's best soldiers. Malik was positioned on a nearby rooftop, ostensibly providing sniper support for the operation. Really, he was there to watch her make an impossible choice. Through her scope, Zinhle could see into the warehouse, faces she recognized from Malik's photos and stories. There was Tommy, the one who taught Malik to shoot when he was 14. Lisa, who used to cook Sunday dinners for the crew, treating them like family instead of criminals. Young Dre, barely 20, still learning the game, human, not targets. Alpha Team, you're green, Bongani's voice crackled through her earpiece. Execute the package on my mark. Zinhle's finger rested on the trigger. Her team waited for her signal. Inside the warehouse, Tommy was showing Dre something on his phone, both of them laughing. Lisa was on her own phone, probably talking to her daughter. They had no idea death was 30 seconds away. Alpha Leader, confirm ready. Zinhle thought about Jabulani, the kid she'd executed, about his daughter growing up without a father, about the 11 other faces that haunted her sleep. She thought about Sifo, who wanted to study engineering, who died because he wanted out. She thought about Malik carrying her through smoke when he could have run. Alpha Leader, confirm. Time slowed. She saw 2 futures, one where she followed orders, killed these people, stayed in Bongani's world until it consumed her completely. Safe, loyal, dead inside. One where she chose something else, dangerous, uncertain, real. Her finger moved off the trigger. Zinhle raised her rifle and fired 3 shots into the air. "Run!" she screamed in English. "Get out, now!" The warehouse exploded into chaos. Tommy and Lisa grabbed weapons, understanding immediately. Betrayal, but from which direction? Zinhle's own team turned to her in confusion. "What are you doing?" her second-in-command demanded. "Saving them," she said, and shot him in the leg. All hell broke loose. Bongani's soldiers turned their weapons on her. The LA crew scattered like smoke. And from the rooftop, Malik began picking off her former teammates one by one, each shot placed with surgical precision. Zinhle fought through her own people, trading bullets with men she'd trained alongside for years. A round grazed her ribs. Another shattered a car window inches from her head. She was outgunned, outmaneuvered, dying on her feet. Then Malik was there, materializing from shadow like an avenging angel. With me, they ran together, covering each other's retreat, moving with the synchronization of people who'd memorized each other's rhythms. Behind them, sirens wailed. Ahead, Tommy's crew scattered to safe houses. Between, Zinhle had just destroyed everything she'd built for 10 years. They made it to a car. Malik drove while Zinhle held pressure on her bleeding ribs, adrenaline crashing. "You saved them," Malik said, voice rough with emotion. "I saved us," she corrected, "from becoming the kind of people who can sleep after killing innocents." There's no going back now. I know. But Bongani wasn't finished. An hour later, Zinhle's phone rang. Bongani's voice was eerily calm. "Come to the office, alone, or I start killing your family, starting with your aunt in Cape Town." Malik grabbed for the phone. "Don't, I have to." Zinhle was already moving, checking her gun. "He'll do it. He'll kill everyone I've ever spoken to just to make a point." "Then I'm coming with you," he said, alone. And I don't give a damn what he said. We finish this together or not at all. They drove to Bongani's headquarters in silence, both understanding this was likely suicide. The building loomed against Johannesburg's night sky, a monument to 30 years of blood money. Inside, Bongani waited in his office, surprisingly alone, terrifyingly calm. "You were going to lead this syndicate," he said as they entered, gun already drawn. "You were family, Zinhle. You killed my brother." Your brother was weak, no remorse in his voice. You weren't. I forged you into something stronger. I gave you purpose after Saifo died, gave you the tools to never feel that helpless again. And this is how you repay me? For some American with a revenge fantasy? "This isn't about him," Zinhle said. "This is about you making me into something I hate, about me being too scared to choose anything else until someone showed me there was a choice." "Love is a disease in our world," Bongani said. "I'm doing you a mercy." He aimed at her heart. Malik moved faster than physics should allow, tackling Bongani. They crashed into the desk, struggling for the gun. Bongani was older, but brutal, trained by decades of street warfare. He got the upper hand, knife appearing from nowhere, pressing to Malik's throat. "Shoot him, Zinhle," Bongani commanded. "Prove you still know where you belong, or die with him." Zinhle raised her gun. Her hand was steady now, no shaking, just clarity. "I know exactly where I belong," she said, and fired. Bongani dropped, bullet between his eyes, surprise frozen on his face forever. The gunshot echoed. Footsteps thundered in the hallway, Bongani's people responding to the sound. Malik and Zinhle ran, fighting through the building like demons. They made it to a service exit, stole a car, and drove toward the airport while Johannesburg's underworld exploded behind them. In the car, reality set in. Zinhle had just killed one of the most powerful men in South Africa's criminal network. His nephew, the likely successor, had sworn to hunt them to the ends of the earth. Malik's LA crew was probably suspicious of his entire story now. They had nothing, no home, no allies, no plan beyond survival. "You just destroyed your entire life for me," Malik said. Zinhle's laugh was half sob. "Don't flatter yourself. I did it for me, for Sifo, for Jabulani and his daughter, for the chance to look in a mirror and not hate what I see." "Where do we go?" "I don't know. Away. Anywhere." She looked at him, both of them blood-splattered and exhausted. "You still want this? Still want me after watching me kill someone in cold blood? You saved Tommy and Lisa. You chose mercy when it would have been easier to choose cruelty." "Yeah, I still want this." He reached across the console, took her hand. "But we gotta survive first." They drove through the night, leaving Johannesburg and their old lives behind, uncertain if they were driving toward salvation or just different deaths. The crisis was complete. Everything had burned. Now they'd find out if what remained was enough. Cape Town, 2 weeks later. Zinhle's aunt, Thandiwe, had left the criminal world 30 years ago when she watched her own sister, Zinhle's mother, die from an overdose. She lived in a beach house in Hout Bay now, painting landscapes and volunteering at community centers. When Zinhle showed up with Malik, bloody and desperate, Thandiwe asked no questions, just opened her door. "You look like your mother," she said, pulling Zinhle into a hug. "But your eyes are harder. What did they do to you, child?" "I did it to myself," Zinhle replied. For 2 weeks, they recovered in that house. Physical wounds healed, psychological ones remained. Malik cooked breakfast while Zinhle watched the ocean, both of them adjusting to the strange concept of safety. They didn't talk about Johannesburg, didn't talk about the future, just existed in small moments. "You put turmeric in the eggs," Zinhle observed one morning. "Yeah, my mama's trick, makes them fluffier." "You never told me about your mother." Malik was quiet for a moment. "She died when I was 16. Cancer. Marcus and I watched her go piece by piece. That's when the streets became everything. We didn't have anyone else. I'm sorry." "Me too." He brought her a plate. "But she taught me to cook first. Taught me that feeding people is how you show love when words aren't enough. So I cook." Simple words, but they cracked something in Zinhle. Feeding people was love. She'd forgotten that. Spent 10 years learning how to hurt instead of how to nurture. "Teach me," she said, "to cook? To love something without destroying it." That afternoon, he taught her to make sweet potato pie. She burned the first one, laughed at the second disaster, got the third almost right. They ate it on the beach while sunset turned the ocean gold, and for the first time in years, Zinhle felt something like peace. 1 month in, beach walk at twilight, Malik's phone had been ringing for days. His LA crew, demanding answers, explanations, proof of life. He'd been ignoring it, knowing that conversation would force decisions they weren't ready for. But ignoring reality doesn't make it disappear. They walked the shoreline, shoes off, waves soaking their feet. Zinhle had her gun hidden in her jacket, muscle memory, couldn't break the habit yet. Malik noticed but didn't comment. "Your crew isn't going to stop calling," she said finally. "I know. So what do we do?" Malik stopped walking, faced her. "They're offering extraction, witness protection back in the States, new identities, the full program. There's space for 2. Zinhle processed this. "America? Or not. We could go somewhere else. Mozambique, Namibia, fucking Iceland if you want. I'm not asking you to follow me anywhere. I'm asking what you want. For the first time in your life, you get to choose. So choose." The question hung between them like suspended gravity. What did she want? For 10 years, she'd wanted revenge for Sifo, then survival, then to prove she was strong enough. But wanting something for herself? That was foreign. "I need you to understand something," Zinhle said carefully. "I'm not good at this. The soft parts, the building instead of destroying. I spent a decade learning how to hurt people, not love them. I'm going to fail at this. I'm going to wake up reaching for weapons that aren't there. I'm going to have nightmares where I see Jabulani's face. I'm going to disappoint you." Malik listened without interrupting. "But I want to try," she continued, voice cracking. "I want to be someone who chooses life over death. I want mornings where we cook together and argue about turmeric. I want to learn who I am when I'm not scared. I want it with you." "I'm not asking for perfect," Malik said. "I'm asking for real. You're the first real thing I've had since Marcus died. I don't care if you have nightmares. I'll hold you through them. I don't care if you reach for weapons. I'll be there to remind you we're safe. I don't care if you disappoint me because you won't. You're the bravest person I've ever met. What if the syndicate finds us? Then we fight. Together. What if we don't work? What if we're only good at violence? Then we learn something else. We have time now, Ma. That's the whole point." Zinhle kissed him, soft, hopeful, terrified. Against his lips, she whispered, 6 months. "What?" "Give me 6 months in Cape Town. We'll try being normal. Get jobs, make friends, exist without running. If we can't make this work outside crisis, if we realize we're just trauma bonded, we have an honest conversation and part as friends. And if it does work, then we figure out the rest, one day at a time." Malik smiled. "Deal." They shook on it like business people, then laughed at the absurdity. 2 killers negotiating love like a transaction, but it felt right. Honest, realistic, built on respect instead of desperate romance. 6 months later. Cape Town. Zinhle worked at a community legal aid office, helping people navigate systems she once exploited. It was penance and purpose. She used her understanding of criminal networks to protect witnesses, to help people escape exactly the kind of life she'd left behind. Malik did construction, poetic really, using his hands to build instead of destroy. He was good at it, took pride in watching structures rise where nothing existed before. They rented a small apartment overlooking Table Mountain. Sunlight streamed through open windows most days. They'd bought plants, succulents that refused to die even when neglected, which felt like a metaphor. They weren't healed. Zinhle still woke screaming some nights, seeing Jabulani's face. Malik still flinched at loud noises, reaching for guns he no longer carried. But they were learning. One evening, cooking dinner together, him teaching her to make jerk chicken, her teaching him to make boboti, they moved around the kitchen like dancers who'd memorized the choreography. "Your Zulu is getting better," she teased. "Yeah, well, I got a better teacher now." He kissed her forehead. "Plus, I'm motivated. Your aunt keeps testing me, and I don't want her thinking I'm lazy. She likes you. She tolerates me. There's a difference." Zinhle laughed, a real laugh, unguarded. "The syndicate hasn't found us yet. They will eventually." "I know. We'll handle it. Together? Together. After dinner, they danced in their small kitchen. No music, just the rhythm of two people who'd chosen each other, despite every logical reason not to. Outside, Table Mountain stood eternal and indifferent. Inside, two people rebuilt themselves from ash and hope. The doorbell rang. Both, tensed, old habits dying hard, reached for weapons that weren't there, then laughed at themselves, sheepish, embarrassed. It was their neighbor bringing vegetables from his garden. Just vegetables. No bullets, no betrayal, just human kindness from a man who knew nothing about their past. They thanked him, closed the door, locked it, returned to dancing. "We're going to be okay," Zinhle said, not quite believing it but wanting to. "Yeah," Malik replied, "we are." For now, that was enough. Outside, the world turned. The past remained close, it always would. But the present belonged to them, built on honest foundations and daily choices. Love not as dramatic sacrifice, but as showing up again and again, choosing each other through the mundane and the terrifying alike. They'd survived the fire. Now they were learning to live in what remained. And that was everything. Zinhle stood in front of a classroom of at-risk youth, telling her story without the names, without the details that could trace back. Just the truth. I was lost. I let anger make my choices. I hurt people. And one day, someone showed me there was another way. In the back of the room, Malik watched. They'd gotten married quietly last year. No fanfare, just them and Thandiwe on a beach at sunrise. They'd talked about kids. Not yet, but maybe someday. After the class, a young girl approached Zinhle. "Do you still have nightmares?" "Yes." "Does it get easier?" Zinhle thought about the question honestly. "No, but you get stronger, and you build a life worth waking up for. That makes the nightmares matter less." The girl nodded, absorbing this. "Thank you." That night in their apartment, Malik cooked while Zinhle reviewed case files. Ordinary, beautiful. "Think we made it?" he asked. "Made what?" "The other side of all that darkness." Zinhle looked around their home. Plants thriving now, photos on walls, evidence of a life built deliberately. "Yeah, I think we did. Your brother would be proud. Marcus too." They carried their dead with them, not as weight but as witnesses, proof that from violence and grief, something gentler could grow. Outside, Cape Town hummed. Inside, two people who'd met as enemies and became each other's salvation proved that love wasn't about fixing broken things. It was about building something new from the pieces that remained. And that was how their story ended, not with dramatic victory or tragic death, but with the quiet revolution of choosing life every single day, together. This story explores the complicated intersection of violence, redemption, and love. Zinhle and Malik's journey isn't about erasing their pasts or pretending their actions don't have consequences. It's about two people who made terrible choices, finding each other and deciding to make better ones. The resolution isn't neat because real healing isn't neat. They don't erase their trauma. They learn to carry it while building something new. They don't become perfect people. They become honest ones. Love in this narrative isn't salvation, it's catalyst. It gives them reason to choose differently, but the actual work of change belongs to them individually. That's the point. You can't love someone into redemption, but love can remind you why redemption matters. To readers who've survived darkness, made choices they regret, or feel defined by their worst moments, you are not your past. You are your next choice, and the next one, and the one after that. Choose wisely. Choose yourself. Choose life.